In tonight's Health Edge, a surprising twist for teens using social media.
A new study finding the more Facebook friends they have, the higher their risk for depression in the future. Chief Health Editor Dr. Parthanandi joins us now with more. I think Glenda and I both were surprised when we heard that.
Yeah, you know, the thing is that teens who had more than 300 Facebook friends were found to have higher cortisol levels, and that's a hormone released during stress. So it's you know, we talk about, I have a preteen daughter, and I have to tell her all the time that, you know, social media is not everything. She's the only girl who doesn't have, it's not Facebook, but Instagram or Facebook or any social media, and she's always asking me. What I tell her is that, like we talked about before, these are not always your real friends. So it's a lot more, I can see why there's more increased stress.
Well, not to mention the stress just to keep up and feel like you have to post and you have to respond.
Yes. It's kind of like this, you know, it's too much of a good thing. You know, if you have a few friends and you're close, it's good. But then when you have to keep up with every single post that they do, and are people liking your posts, it becomes this whole obsession. You see people, I see people in the waiting room, they're on their phone with their Facebook, seeing how many likes they've had, how many comments, etc. So it becomes exactly what you said, keeping up with it is very important.
I mean, we work in this business and it's tough for us, but talk about cortisol and what it has to do with depression, especially when we're talking about young people.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So if you know, this is the geek and me coming out. So the cortisol is cool because what it does is shows the increased stress, and we think that stress in time does something to interfere with adaptation. That's a fancy word saying that how do you adapt with stress? Do you then let the stress consume you and become depressed, or do you actually deal with it? And that's what the hormones, when it's increased, increases stress. So one of the good things is, guess what? When you actually support others, smaller numbers of Facebook friends, and you like them and support them, guess what? Your cortisol level comes down. It's like anything else that we teach your kids. If you work with others and you actually develop real friendships, not the fake ones often on social media, you actually enrich yourself and become better, and the stress levels come down. So there is some benefit and moral to the story.
Yeah, and I also think too that negativity hurts you because you can get comments from people from people we don't even know, saying things that can be very hurtful. And you think about that and you internalize that.
And especially, and we as adults have some defense mechanisms. Teenagers and preteens don't have those defense mechanisms, and they believe the negativity, right? So I think you're absolutely right. Bullying can happen this way, and so we tell our kids and inform them, listen, yeah, it's okay to have Facebook and Instagram, social media, but remember what it's all about. It's really about supporting each other and really connecting with each other, not to figure out how you can outdo one another, and that becomes a bad game because you try to put somebody down. I tell my son, they try to empty your bucket to fill theirs. Don't let that happen on social media.
Good advice.
Brilliant,
Thank you so much.
Thank
we
you so
appreciate
much.
you always. All right. If you have a question or a health concern for the doctor, email him at drnandi@wxyz.com or send it to us on Facebook or Twitter.